Tariffs as tools of transformation. Tariffs are more than just taxes, they're levers of power. Historically, they've helped countries industrialize, protect domestic industries, and generate revenue. The US itself leaned heavily on tariffs to grow in the 19th century. But like any tool, their effectiveness depends on how they're used. When applied wisely, they can shield developing sectors. When overused, like during the Smoot-Hawley era, they can trigger global downturns. The US-China economic tango. What's most striking is how the US, in its bid to counter the Soviet Union, unintentionally turbocharged China's rise. The Cold War calculus made short-term sense, bring China into the fold, tilt the balance, but few foresaw that China would master the global economy's playbook so quickly. The US gave China access, capital and technology. China, in turn, gave the world cheap goods and economic growth, but it also became America's strongest economic competitor. Trade war, a clash of philosophies. This isn't just a trade war, it's a contest between two systems. The US runs on open markets, private enterprise and global alliances. China blends state-led capitalism with strategic planning and long-term vision. Tariffs in this context aren't just about trade. They're about influence, norms, and who gets to set the rules of the future. The big picture. I think we're entering a new era, not a repeat of the Cold War, but something more fluid and economically intertwined. Even as the US and China clash, they're still deeply linked. The world economy is like a circulatory system. You can't just cut off a major artery without consequences. Final thought. The ultimate question is, can these two giants compete without wrecking the system they both depend on? And can the rest of the world navigate between them without being forced to pick sides? The future might hinge on how wisely both sides wield their tariffs, not just as weapons, but as signals of strategy and strength. For more, stay in touch.